Why is it acceptable to disrespect candidates? I had my first interview with a company today, and I have never felt so strongly about an interview. When I arrived at their office, I was told to complete a pre-interview questionnaire. The questionnaire consisted of interview questions such as, what did you like about your previous job? And, where do you see yourself in 35 years? I had a feeling the interview would go downhill from here because these should have been asked in my actual interview. Well, after waiting 28 minutes, I told myself I'd wait 30 minutes because I already took the time to drive here. I was greeted by the hiring manager. He immediately tells me that this is not a real interview. This is matching the face to the resume. He then proceeds to review my answers to the questionnaire, makes a few comments, and gives me an overview of the position. No questions for me. No chance to ask him questions. This process took 35 minutes. I was told I would be called to schedule a second interview if they are interested. Yeah, no. I withdrew my application on Indeed as soon as I got home. And I'm thinking of messaging them too. How do people think this is okay? I wasted an hour of my day for a pre-screening that should have been done over the phone or virtually. This makes me not optimistic about the rest of my job search. Arg. I met someone for a job interview at a local coffee shop. She, the interviewer, was 10 minutes late for a 30-minute interview, a stage 1 interview. Around when time allotted was up, she was looking around for the next candidate and literally said, "Is she late? It's not okay for her to be late. It's okay for me to be late but not okay for her." Matching the face to the resume. I would have immediately clapped back at that. Why? Need to make sure you are not hiring any minorities or pregnant women? Quote, I mean, that is blatantly problematic for discrimination reasons. I would flag this posting on the employment site, if possible, with your experience. Sounds like the pre-screening did its job. Then screened out someone who wasn't willing to jump through a hoop for your master manager. I once attended an interview where I didn't even apply for the job. The law firm contacted me. I wasn't in the market and wasn't going to go to the interview until they told me the salary, and it was life-changing money. So I went, and boy am I glad I did. Not only was the partner 15 minutes late, the receptionist escorted me to a conference room, placed a laptop in front of me and asked me to take a typing test. Mind you, I've been a practicing attorney for 5+ years, so this was confusing to me. But when I told the receptionist that I have a neurological disability that makes typing difficult, and that I use a dictation software for most if not all typing tasks, he looked at me. It was as if I told him I eat gravel. He was befuddled. He left to go tell the partner and came back with questions about my disability. When I finally got to meet with the partner, she spent approximately 20 minutes grilling me on my disability before I told her how uncomfortable I was and terminated the interview. They're looking for desperate people willing to be walked all over. Why is it acceptable to disrespect our citizens and have policies aimed at misleading and preventing them from accessing information? I had a recruiter reach out to me via LinkedIn. I don't typically respond, but this job was very similar to the one I was doing, but for a much larger company and for much larger pay. So I sent my resume and updated cover letter. I got a call back immediately for a phone screening, then moved to a virtual interview. Virtual interview went well, and I was told there would be one more held with whomever would be my direct supervisor. And if he liked me, then we were good. Well, they jerked me around on the second interview, constantly changing the times and rescheduling. When I finally did get the interview, I was told I was a shoo-in and that I would need to come up to the facility to sign the offer letter. The facility was an hour away, but for the money it was worth it. I bought a new suit, all my I-9 verification stuff, and left super early. I should mention I had some bad feelings prior based on the supervisor's interview and how quick everything happened, so I took PTO at my current job instead of giving notice. And I am glad I did. It was 10 minutes before my scheduled appointment and the recruiter called to say that the company went with another candidate. When I tell you, I immediately ripped into her and left horrible reviews which they asked me to take down. But I refused. There's no good reason to need to put a face to a resume, and I've seen the bad ones. Employers also think they can disrespect employees. Consistency isn't a virtue when it's bad behavior. It isn't acceptable. Please complain. Many companies list fake jobs for fraudulent reasons. What sort of company is this? They have to check to make sure they've found someone who will take disrespect. How else are they gonna steal money from your paycheck and manipulate you into voting against unionization? I was greeted by the hiring manager. He immediately tells me that this is not a real interview. This is matching the face to the resume. Sounds very illegal. I was told I would be called to schedule a second interview if they are interested. Yeah, no. I withdrew my application on Indeed as soon as I got home. And I'm thinking of messaging them too. Good. I'd probably skip on messaging them unless you want to cause some issues. How do people think this is okay? I wasted an hour of my day for a pre-screening that should have been done over the phone or virtual. When people show you who they are, believe them. If they are this jacked up in the hiring process, imagine how daily work is. Same happened to me. Waited, then asked when the interviewer will be ready half an hour in. They gave a questionnaire like that with math, reading, sales, asking would I take a high salary at first or work my way up. Their excuse for taking long was that their customer came late. As I was getting ready to leave an hour in, the interviewer came, gave a tour, asked to take a picture of me like it was some type of modeling job, interviewed me and said if called back a free orientation day will be assigned that will last 9 hours to see if I'd be a good fit. I'm curious what the position was.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.